All right. Well, Aries Spears, he is coming to Kansas City this weekend. Aries, how's your day going today?
Good. I got you on the horn.
Hey, I'm glad that I make your day even better.
Yes, absolutely. How you doing?
I'm doing great. All right. So, Aries, you're going to be in Kansas City. You'll be at the Funny Bone Friday, 7 o'clock and 9:15, Saturday, 6:30 and 9:15. What happened to the Sunday shows? Everybody used to do Sunday shows. Now no one does Sunday shows.
I think some of the comedy clubs are condensing uh, the weekend because they figure they could cram more people into less shows than trying to spread it out. So either way, it still adds up to money.
All right, money for you, ka-ching, ka-ching. All right,
Yeah.
well, get your tickets, kc.funnybone.com to go see Aries. Aries, so what's new in your world?
Things have gotten a lot busier because of the success of my videographer and all these videos that I'm putting out on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. The numbers have gone up, attendance has gone up, payment has gone up, attention has gone up. So it's a beautiful thing.
Okay, let's talk about that because I did notice that when I went to your Instagram, 1.4 million followers. Congratulations on that
Yeah.
huge number. And also I did see a lot of a lot of social media posts and things like that. So how do you feel about that? Because you have been around for a really long time. So you've seen all the different, I guess, how do I want to say it? Like I've seen Facebook, I've seen Twitter, we've seen the Vine, we've seen MySpace. How do you feel about, I guess, this new age where I feel like people don't even have to be good comedians, but it's just if they have content. That's to me, that's a bit offensive. But how do you feel about it?
At the end of the day, substance always wins. So, every like the saying goes, everybody gets 15 minutes of fame. I mean, a flash in the pan is just that, a flash. So it might be able to sustain you for a little while, but if you really want true longevity and stay in power, it all starts with talent, and real substance. So there's a reason why I've been around for as long as I've been around.
So Aries, how many times have you gotten canceled? Because I know you don't care and you always say whatever you feel.
You know, I don't even know really that applies to me because I don't think I've been the darling of anybody in Hollywood to begin with. So I'm kind of like the underdog. So and for whatever that means, cancel. I always believe that if you're good at what you do and you're true to what you do, as long as you ain't out here really hurting nobody, you can all. This is America. This is the land of bounce backs. So whatever canceled means, I don't think that necessarily. I read into that.
Okay. All right. You just don't, I just think that you don't care. No F's
I mean,
given.
I don't. But to just act as though I totally am not conscious of the climate out there would be insane. But I do what I do, and let God handle the rest.
Okay. All right. If you say so, I just feel like you don't care and you don't play by the rules.
Well, I definitely, I don't make a conscious effort to be rebellious. That's just part of my organic flow because I like to question things. I like to go the opposite direction, and again, not just for the sake of doing it, but because I want to see what's on the other side.
Okay. Now, have you always been like this when you were a kid, or like when you were a kid, did you follow the rules? Because I remember when I was 12, that's when I started to talk back and I didn't care.
Listen, I got enough scars from ass whoopings to say yes.
Okay. All right. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. All right. So I know for a lot of hot topic things, like I know that you're always on it and you know what's going on. So how do you feel? I don't know if you saw the story about this school in Jamaica that said that the edges, like they were banned from the school. And that they said the edges were not curtains for your foreheads. How do you feel about women and their edges?
Hey, listen, I like beauty in all forms. Whatever works for you works for you. Um, listen, there are certain things. Obviously, I'm not in love with. I don't like the big fake eyelashes. Because I don't think a woman should have pterodactyl wings on her face. I think those eyelashes are like BBLs for the face. You
Ooh,
know,
okay. That's a
okay,
good way to put it.
but I also understand, whatever it takes for you to feel beautiful, do you. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to celebrate that with you. Um, I certainly don't want to bash you, but I like what I like, and subtle is sexy to me.
Okay. So no curtains for the foreheads for the ladies that you like.
Mm, like they
Okay.
should, a lot of women should mimic what you got.
Okay. On the blueprint.
You the blueprint.
Thank you. Now, I'm very curious to know what you feel about this whole Young Thug situation with all of his jail calls getting leaked. First off, I don't know how that happens, but he called a lot of people out for being snitches. And I feel like, in a way, he's being kind of exposed for being a snitch in a way.
You got to understand something. I'm 50 years old. So anything that's in the 20, 30-year range is out of my depth. I'm old school. I'm a dinosaur. I'm an 80s baby. So I don't keep up with too much of the young disses and the little lats and all of that. If it ain't from the 90s or beyond, from the 90s, 80s, I'm lost.
Okay. Well, basically, so I can catch you up to speed, Young Thug has been exposed. He was in jail, and all his phone calls have been leaked. And he's talking about like Glorilla. He's talking greasy about Drake. And he admitted to sleeping with a correctional officer and cheating on his girlfriend, who is a singer called Mariah the Scientist. So that's been kind of like the drama right now because he's been really big about saying like, oh, we don't like snitches, snitches get stitches, but he's kind of being exposed for being a chatty Cathy.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's what's been going on. So what news story has piqued your interest or you found it to be tickling to you?
I don't really have anything in particular. Like I think most of the country, I take what Trump gives us. But other than that, I look at this device in my hand, and if I'm scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, it's all just an entertainment cycle that lasts for about 5 minutes.
Right.
I try not to take anything too heavy.
So with you developing content and being so heavy on social media now, does it get exhausting to you or do you know when you need to, tap out and take a few moments to yourself or is it still just normal business for you?
Well, I'm not really creating the kind of content that most people are in terms of a skit or, some sort of character or something driven like that. Most of my stuff is just crowd work, which I do naturally on stage. So even when I'm doing it, I don't consider it work.
Right.
It's just part of the fun part of my life that I get to live out. So to answer your question, not really, because it all just flows when it flows, and I'm into it organically.
Okay. All right. So I feel like the thing now is for everybody to have like a special. What about you? Is that something that you're working on? Is that some of the new material that we'll see at the Funny Bone?
Yeah,
What's
I'm not in any rush. I'm not in any rush to do anything because I'm really trying to make sure that when you get 50 years old and you playing out the second half of your life, you don't want the second half to be sloppy like the first half. So for me, I'm all about methodically and strategically making sure my steps is right, so that the next big thing I put out there is a game changer. So between my stand up and this movie I'm working on, which has kind of been my baby for a minute, that's where all my concentration is.
so is this a movie that you're writing or a movie that you're starring in that somebody else has written?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah,
Want to
definitely,
give any more?
and dabbling in the writing.
Okay. So are we going to see, I'm assuming it's a comedy or a drama?
Yeah, absolutely a comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that you said that you're not in a rush to do anything, but I mean, is it going to be coming out soon? 2 years, 3 years? I'm trying to get some juice.
You know what? I can't say. I can't say and I won't say because this business is so unpredictable
True.
and I turns like that. So nothing is etched in stone.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll just give you a pre-congratulations and we're looking forward to seeing that. How about that?
I love it.
All right. Anything else that people need to look out for you coming in the next few months in the year? We don't have much left in the year, just a few more months. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, just stay tuned, you know, just stay tuned.
Okay. Well, stay tuned. But in the meantime, people can get tickets to go see you at the Funny Bone, kc.funnybone.com. Friday show, 7 o'clock and 9:45. Saturday, 6:30 and 9:15. Aries, anything else that you want to leave the people with?
No, I just got a chance to see your glow in that smile. I'm
Well,
good.
thank you. Always
Yeah,
good to see you, Aries. You're looking good.
no doubt.
All right. I'll see you this weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you.
You got it, baby.